Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my second paper, which is your paper 2 calculator paper, foundation tier from November 2022. And this is the paper we'll be discussing for this part. So I'm not sure how many parts this is going to have, but this is most probably will have maximum of 3 parts, as similar to the paper 1 that we had as well. If you haven't watched my previous videos, please go on my channel and watch those previous videos, because that is the paper 1 for November 2022 mocks. And I just wanted to say the paper 1 went great, and I hope you don't have any other doubts in that one as well. And because we're discussing paper 2 now, please let me know if there's any other doubts or anything. As I always say in my previous videos as well, please let me know in the comment section. Anything you want me to do better, I'd be really happy to know in the comment section as well. And thank you so much for so much of support. And I'll try my best making the best videos that I can from my side, and try making stuff as clear as possible in the most simplest form ever. So I hope you guys like this one as well. So we're starting with paper 2, of course, and as I mentioned in my previous test as well, paper 1 was an Edexcel, and with Edexcel I'm also doing a foundation series. So for now I'll be doing only foundation papers for a while, and then after that I'll be starting with higher papers. For now it will stay to Edexcel in higher and foundation. After some time I will be shifting to AQA or OCR and other type of boards, which is like basically OCR, Edexcel, whatever type of maths parts are there, which are like AQA, OCR and others. So I'll be shifting to them soon, but till then I'm going to stay in Edexcel. But still, the methods, the exam style questions, the way to handle questions, or how much can you write, how much can you gain, how to gain full marks, how to gain the most marks, all of that will be super common in every single one of the past papers I do, whether it's foundation or higher, or there is a board change. So it will stay the exact same. So now we're going to start with mathematics paper 2 calculator, which is in the foundation tier. So let's start now. Okay, so for this question, our first question is, write the following numbers in the order of size. Start with the smallest number. So as we know, the negative ones are the smallest, as we look here. So we have a few negative numbers here. We've got -2, we've got -1, and we've got -7. So we basically know the bigger number it is in the negative, the more smaller it is overall. So we know that -7 is the smallest here, so we take -7, and then we keep going up like that. -7, then we know -2 is the next one because it's smaller, but in a way it's bigger because it's closer to 0. So -2, then we have -1, then we have 0, then we have straight away the positive number 7. And that's how you will gain your first mark. Second question is, write 37% as a fraction. So as we discussed earlier as well, whenever we write percentages as fractions, it is written as a number over 100. And in my paper 1 as well, there was a question where we had to write it as a percentage of something, and it was related to a fraction question. So it is super important whenever you convert it. And we had to firstly also convert it into a percentage. We also had to convert it into a percentage, so we had to make sure that our denominators was 100 over a number. Like our denominator was 100 and the number was above, so that we could get the exact percentage. So super important always, whenever you're asked a percentage question, the number will be there, but over 100. So we've got 37% right now. I hope this topic is clear to you guys. So 37% as a fraction, so we basically write it as 37 over 100. That's how you gain your second mark. Basically 1 mark here, 1 mark here, 1 mark here, 2 marks already. Now we're gonna move on. If there's any doubt in the simple topics, or any topic basically in common, suppose if it's fraction itself, or it's percentages, or it's surds, or it's indices, anything like that, or sequences, please let me know, or even quadratics. So please let me know in whichever you have doubts in, if there's a particular topic that you want me to discuss and make videos on. So I'll work on that as well. And also any particular past paper that you want me to do, for example. So if it's a higher past paper, I will consider that past paper, but I will be considering that as my priority, as soon as I start doing past papers which are in higher. And if possible, I'll try doing them as early as I can, or even sooner than the next video. That if suppose I'm today doing a foundation paper, and if somebody comments that okay, I want to clear out this paper with you, or and I hope you can clear this out paper, and then you give me this link, I go on the link, I get it, it's a past paper, a higher one. So I'll try my best going through it the exact next day. So the next day we'll be going through that exact higher paper that you are asking for, because some people have exams, so it's sometimes a bit stressful to have to wait for a few months or even for a few weeks, because you need to clear the doubts out as soon as possible. So I'll try clearing those as soon as possible, and the topics as well. So please let me know all of this in the comments. I'll be really happy to help you guys with that. So we've got 1 mark here. Now we're going to the third question. Our third question is write down the 7th odd number. Super simple question here. So basically, to find the 7th odd number, we basically start with writing all the odd numbers that we've got from 1. So we write all the odd numbers from, suppose, let's say 1 to 20, because in that I'm pretty sure I have the confidence that I'm going to find my 7th odd number there. So we write the numbers, suppose 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. Here we are with all the odd numbers. So here, so now we need to find the 7th odd number. 7th odd number. So we basically count. This is your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Now we know our 7th number is a 13. So we know that our 7th odd number is a 13. And that will be our answer. You don't need to specifically write this if you already know how to think of it or how to solve it in your brain. That's completely fine, because it's a 1 mark question. You won't lose anything. They mainly just need the answer here of 13. Moving on to the next question. Our next question is change 53 centimeters into millimeters. So the formula is from centimeters to millimeters is a multiply by 10. So when you go down, you multiply by 10. If you go up, you divide by 10. Now here, because they're asking from centimeters to millimeters, we basically know we're going down here, so we multiply by 10 here. So basically, we would do 53 into 10, which would give us an answer of 530 millimeters. Simple, and that's how you gain your mark. And this 1 mark is not for looking at this and being like, okay, we need to multiply by 10. When you have multiplied and got the answer of a 530, that's when you'll gain your 1 mark. This is just for your help, that okay, we've got centimeter, millimeter, and if we go down, we multiply by 10. If we go up, we divide by 10. And also one more thing, guys, I would want you to remember this by all times. In liters, meters, when it's about measuring liquid, or it's about measuring long distances, so it's always important to remember these type of sequences. So the main total sequences, you can write it in your rough column or write it in the back of your book as a glossary, as I mentioned. If you're new to my video, the glossary basically means go to the back of your page of your maths book or any rough notebook that you use a lot, or like maybe every day for your maths practice. So go in the back, make a glossary. Super important whenever you go through certain topics, even if it's with me or it's with sometimes your tutor, or even if it's just you going through formulas, most importantly formulas in your own time. So super important to note them down as soon as you complete it with that topic. So suppose you get a particular topic of pressure, so you write the formula. So basically, as soon as you're done with the topic pressure, you go to the glossary, you write topic 1 pressure, and you write all the formulas that you know, or any super key points that okay, when you need to convert, you convert from this to this, or anything like that. And if you need to remember the units, you write that down. But like very few key points which could be numerical, like the ones which could get like super confusing. And especially when you need to remember the formulas, because sometimes they don't give you half of the formulas, or they don't give you formula sheet at all. It's something for you to completely remember. And obviously sometimes, or most of the time, they give you in a few questions 2 or 3 questions formulas, but that does not mean that you have to completely depend on that, because that's something completely wrong for you to do, because you have no idea what formulas will be coming up. So it's super important to learn all your formulas and to memorize them and to keep them safe with you, that okay, that you have in your mind, okay, now I have got my exam, I need to learn my formulas. You open the last page of your book, there's your glossary. For each topic there are a number of formulas you can learn from. And please also get that book which you use super often. Could be as often as a maths book. Go in the back of your page, write glossary, write all the formulas, super key points. And for notes, you can obviously use a rough noting book, for example. And I'm not saying the ones which get easily lost, the ones which you can keep with you. So maybe like a maths noting book where you need to write certain points to understand that, okay, when you multiply, you go down. When you multiply down, when you go downer, the measuring line, which is like centimeters to millimeters, you basically multiply by 10. If you go up, you divide by 10. So this is like a very simple rule, and you want to write it. This is something to write in your this is something to write in both your glossary and in your rough notebook. So rough notebook basically means the one you can use at home and you can revise from home and make notes from. And the glossary which I'm talking about here is super specifically numerical terms, or dividing by 10, multiplying by 10, formulas, all that kind of stuff. So super important to keep them with you, and always use the ones, and always get the ones which you know that you will be using the most in the upcoming days. So in that way you will be keeping it more like your priority and will be keeping it in the front always. So in that way it'll be easier for you to remember that, okay, I have my formulas in these, I have my notes in these. You'll be all set. Okay, so now we've done these questions, we've earned all of the 4 marks here. Now we're going to move to the next one. Here we're on the next one. We're given a question of 4 cards. So here are 4 cards. There is a number on each card. The numbers are 4, 7, 6, 3. Write down the smallest 4-digit even number that can be made using each card only once. So they're basically saying even number. So we need to underline that because that's a key word. So write down the smallest 4-digit even number that can be made using each card only once. So when we talk about smallest, we mostly have a knowledge of, okay, the smallest number here is a 3, so we can start with the 3, and that's the right approach here. So firstly we write a 3, then we know a bigger number is a 4, so we write a 4, and because they asked us for an even number, basically means our last number should be even, due to which they'll probably say that, okay, this is an even number. Suppose if it was a 5, for example, that would not be called as an even number. So if the number was 3405, that would not be an even number. An even number would be in the 4th place, there should be a even number. Could be a 2, could be a 4, could be a 6, 8, and like that, and goes on like that. So we need to have an even number. So 3, 4, and because we know that 7 is not an even number and is the biggest, we write 7 first. And because we know 6 is an even number and the last number as well, we write 6. And this is how you will get your first mark for writing the 4-digit even number that can be made using each card only once. So only once is also important because some people might repeat this and be like, okay, 6, 6. That is a completely wrong method. Your correct answer would be 3, 4, and then because 7 is a bigger number but it's an odd number, and they've asked for the last number, and they've asked for that the last number should be an even, and that's how it will be a 4-digit even number. So we take 7 as a third number and then we write 6 at last. That's how you gain your first mark. Okay. Now next question is, here is a quadrilateral ABCD as you can see here. So measure the length of the side AB and give your answer in centimeters. So for this one you will be needing a scale. And by scale I mean a ruler. So I'm not sure if I will be having an accurate scale on this one. So I'll be suggesting you guys to please use a scale at home or a ruler at home and measure A to B by your own time and by your own length. So you take the scale, do it from the start, and then measure it to B, and then whatever the length you get will be your answer. So for this one, when I tried measuring before, I got an answer of 4.5 centimeters. So it might differ to maybe a 5, maybe a 4. But again, it depends on the mark scheme whether they accept it or not. And when I checked for mine, they've accepted it. So the main answer right now, they've only written as a 4.5. So for me, it was a 4.5. You can measure it at home. And please make sure and maybe try rechecking a few more times that maybe you might get 4.5 in your 4th or 5th try, or maybe in your 3rd or 4th try, or even the 2nd try. So try your best. The length would be 4.5, but again depends on the mark scheme whether they accept 4 or 5 or 5.5. Okay, then the next one is measure, and also it depends on the mark scheme. So in the mark scheme, for me it was not given, it was simply given 4.5, but it will depend on the school mark scheme as well. So if you have a similar question like this, it will depend on the mark scheme whether they give you the similar length or they allow more lengths, or they allow a certain number of lengths between from 5 to 6, for example, or maybe from 4 to 5, for example. So that's how the mark scheme will say, but depends on mark scheme. It differs in all schools, and not in all schools, but like it differs in every single exam you do and every single mock you do, and even the short test, the mark scheme differs everywhere. Somewhere it's a bit lenient, somewhere it's a bit strict. So please take care of that and try measuring as accurate as you can with the scale. So we have 4.5 here, and then the next question is measure the size of the angle marked X. So for this question, you will need a protractor. From the protractor, you have to measure this angle right here, and as soon as you measure, you would be getting an answer of 110. And that's how you will gain your next mark. Moving on to the next one. Myers writes down the distance readings from his car at the start and at the end of a journey. Start of a journey is 12468 miles. End of the journey is 12845 miles. Miles knows that the cost of petrol for his journey is 13p per mile. Work out the total cost of the petrol used for this journey. Give your answer in pounds. Okay, so now they've given us the start of the journey, how much distance did it take, and then for end of the journey, how much distance did it take. So now he says that Mile knows the cost of petrol is only 13p per mile. So work out the total cost of petrol used for his journey overall. So because this to this will be your overall journey, so first we need to find how much distance difference is there. So in a way we can find how much distance are we really talking about accurately, right? So what we can do here, I'll write it down here. So I'll remove this arrow and I'll write it down here. We basically like 12845, 12468. So now they haven't really said overall. So it would be wrong of me saying that we need to add them up, and I've subtracted them now because it literally says used for this journey. So for this journey accurately, how much do we know? We know that we've got the start of the journey, we've got the end of the journey. We simply subtract them, and that will be the journey we need to take out for. So 12845 minus 12468, that gives us an answer of 377. And after this, because they've said Mile knows that the cost of petrol is only 13p per mile, so if for 1 mile, if it's 13p, so how much is it for 377 miles? We take out the cost, which is 377. They've given for 1, they're asking for more, so basically we do multiply. So 377 multiplied by 13, which gives us an answer of 4901. Not pounds, pence. So now because we got an answer in pence of 4901, and at last they've also asked us to convert it into pounds. So please, whenever you see these type of questions or any type of question, super important to underline the keyword so that you know that your answer is the exact way that they're asking for. So because they've asked for pounds, we need to convert this into pounds. So we simply know to convert this into pounds, we would divide it by 100. So from pence to pounds, we would do divided by 100, and then from pounds and then from pounds to pence, we would multiply by 100. Please note this down in your glossary if possible. And then after we've converted this, because we're doing from pence to pounds, so we would do 4901 divided by 100, which simply gives you an answer of 49.01 pence. Sorry, 49.01 pounds. And that's your answer, and that's how you will earn the 4th mark. Most importantly, you won't earn the 4th mark. You will only get 3 marks for this question if you've solved all of this and the answer has not been converted into pounds. So super important. Conversion is super important. It could be at the start of your it could be at the very start sometimes in a few questions. In this one it was at last, so it should have been done at last, but few questions have it at the very start, some have it in the middle. So super important to pay attention to that, underline the keywords and make sure you get the answer what they're asking for. So because they asked you to give your answer in pounds, you wrote your answer in pounds. And also we've solved this individually. As you can see, this was your first step of subtracting. So this was your first step. Then you realize if for one is this, how much is it for the other one? So there was subtraction, here was some multiplication, and here we basically did some conversion. That's it. You got your answer. Now, I hope you're clear with this question. Please let me know if there's any doubt in the comment section after this video. So, question 8, Sophia wants to hire a van. Sophia uses this rule to work out the cost of hiring a van for a number of days. So, cost is equals to 45 pounds into the number of days. Sophia is going to hire the van for 2 days. Work out the cost. So this is a very simple question, obviously. So here we know that we need to do a bit of a substitution. So here we know they've given us cost and they've given us the formula in a way, which is pound 45 into the number of days. Now we know she's going to hire a van for 7 days. So how much will it be? So cost will be equal to 45 into 7, which will give us an answer of 315 pounds, and that will be our answer. First mark will be for substituting, second mark will be for finding out the answer. Here's your 2 marks. And here you will be earning a full of 6 marks from the 7th question and the 8th question smoothly. Right. So moving on to the next question. Okay. So now we've been given a grid and we've been given a table. So the question says the table shows information about the number of students who arrived late at school each day 1 week. So the number of students for Monday was 9, Tuesday was 10, Wednesday was 8, Thursday was 6 and Friday was 3. On the grid, draw a bar chart for this information. Bar chart basically means, as soon as they say bar chart, basically means a chart which is like this and it goes bigger or it goes smaller. So here we can see minimum growth as soon as the week is going by. So firstly in Monday, Tuesday it's a bit of like, okay, a person increased, but then as soon as you go down in your week, so like Wednesday it's a 8, then Thursday is a 6, Friday is a 3, we can clearly see that our bar chart is going to be a little bit lower. So now they've already drawn the grid for us. So here we know that we can mark it as anything. So like any way we like, we can draw it like this, we can draw the bar chart like this, or we can draw it like this. For me, I find the vertical one better for now, so I'm going to draw it like that, but you can always draw it and edit it in your own way and draw it in a horizontal way. So here, bar chart. So when we draw it, this is just an example to let you know. Okay. So what do we need to do here? So firstly, because they've given us from 1 to 10. So I decided to take a simple number from 1 to 10, right? So I'll just take it like this. Take this as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's it. And now for the bottom ones, because I've picked this one for the number of students, we need to write that as well. So write number of students here. Here we will be writing, and this one we'll be writing the days of the week. So let's take this as Monday. Don't write the full thing because it might take up a bit of space. So month, and then Tuesday. Don't take it as like that. Just write it when you make a bar. Okay, so as we know, for Monday we know it's a 9. So let's take Monday here. So because for Monday it's a 9, we clearly know it is right here. So we make a bar on that. So we draw a line here. It won't be the most smoothest or the most straight, but still, here we draw a line. As you can see, it's a bit curvy, but please use a scale for this to draw a good one and a clean one. So 9 here, as you can see, it's pointing towards a 9. And then we draw another one over here, and then we close it in a way and make a bar. Super wiggly, this one. So I please suggest to use a scale, or I try using a scale for this one right now. Wait. If I can, if this works. Okay. So we turn this here. So for Monday, we know this is a 9. So here. Perfect. And then for this one, we draw another line. We join them up here. Oh no, not up here, not up here. In the bottom. Basically, we go even more down. So take this. Even more down. Perfect. And for this one, we go even more down. Perfect. And you join the lines here. Perfect. This is your bar for Monday. Took me a bit of time, but obviously it'll be much easier for you when you have scales in your hand. So like, I think, and it's super important for you to use a pen, not a pen. It's important for you to use a pencil instead of a pen, because you never know, you might need to erase it, you might need to edit it, and they've only given us one grid to do it on. So please use a pencil for this one, and please remember to bring pencils in your examination. Okay, so this is for Monday. Now we know for a Tuesday it was a 10, right? So we basically, what we do is we write Tuesday here, and we make one for Tuesday here. So here we know Tuesday was here and it's a 10. So 10 we know it's high here. So basically, because 9 is over here. Oh, I got it to a 10 instead of a 9. Let me edit it. Wait. So please, super important to use pencil all the time. So here, okay, now I'm on a 9. As you can see now, this is pointing towards a 9. Okay, so now when it's a 10, now we'll be drawing the length of this one. So we'll be drawing a line for 10. So here we have 10 here. We go down 1, then another one over here, and we erase this. Oops. Let me draw it again. Oh wait, give me a second. Wait, let me just draw it again, because it doesn't look as clean. Wait. Ooh. wait. So this is Tuesday. This is Monday. With this one, the line will look like this straight away. This looks fine. Now for Tuesday, we do it like this. This, oops, too long, but still this should be fine, not that long. So for this one, it should look like this. That's it. And then you make a top line. Perfect. Now we know it's a 10. In the next one, we have a 8. We can see it very clearly. So for Wednesday, first we mark it as Wednesday. So we take this one and mark it as Wednesday. So we get the scale, and then because it's 8, so we mark it as 8 here. So you draw a straight line, and then another one over here. And then a line above. in the next one we have Thursday, which says 6. So we have 6 right here. We have 6 right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is right here, if you can see my point. Okay, so here we're going to mark it. So we write Thursday first. So we write Thursday here and then we mark it. So Thursday we have here. I'll write Wednesday a bit smaller because it's taking a bit of space. So Wednesday. And we now have space for some Thursday. Okay, so we write for Thursday. Okay, so Thursday we have 6 again, as you can see right here. So we're going to mark it as 6 and go up. Okay, so that now draw a straight line here like we did for the other ones, and draw a straight line here and then a line above to complete it. There's another bar, and then the last bar is for Friday, which is a 3. So for 3 we have it right here, if you can see my dot. So now we draw for 3, and firstly when we write this as Thursday, we do the other one, which is a Friday. So for Friday we basically draw another one. So it's a 3. 3 is here, so you draw it till here, another one till here, and then we close it. So basically in this question they simply asked us to draw a bar chart, and we've drawn it. There's nothing else that we need to do here, and that's how we'll be earning our 3 marks. So the first mark you'll be getting is for sort of labeling each of these axes. So the y-axis is the vertical one, the x-axis is the horizontal one. So you basically numbered those from 1 to 10, from basically 0 to 10, because as you can see in our table, we've been given the number of students and the days. So the numbers are from 1 to 10 only, like 9, 10, 8, 6, 3. We know it lies from 1 to 10, so we can simply make a bar graph on it and like choose a scale. So this is our scale. First mark is for your scale, and mentioning that the number of students is for the number of students. And then in the horizontal one, which is your x-axis, we basically chose the days of the week from Monday to Friday. And then your third mark, so again, first mark for making a scale, second mark for labeling the days of the week here, basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and same mark for number of students. So first mark, second mark here, and then third mark for basically making the bars accurately on this. So super important to use scale here, and that's how you will gain a total of 3 marks, because they've only asked us to draw a bar chart. Okay, so let's move on to the next question and remove the scale. It's fine, it'll get removed by itself. Let's move on. Okay, so now we're on the 10th question. Our 10th question is, here is a part of a bus timetable between Wigan and Bolton. So as you can see, they've given us a table again, and they've been given us certain timings for Wigan, for Black Road, for Horwich, for Lostock, for Park Road, for Bolton. So they've been given us timings everywhere, and your first question, your A part, is how many minutes should the 7:20 bus take to go from Wigan to Lostock? Okay, so now they've given us specifically mentioning Wigan and Lostock. So here is where we should pay attention. So here I've underlined them over here. So super important if you're doing the exam, whenever you're doing the exam and you have a question like this, super important to underline those that they've asked for, and do not focus on any others. So Wigan, and we've got Lostock. So as we know, how many minutes should the 7:20 bus take to go from Wigan to Lostock? We clearly know so they're asking for the 7:20 bus. So we took the 7:20 bus for example. So to get from Lostock, so how much minutes should it take to get from Lostock? We basically know the middle stops that we're going to have is definitely Black Road and Horwich, right? So now we get to consider them. So now as we see, to get there on time, so around, let's say, to get around time, or how many minutes should it take, so as less minutes as you can, what we did was, we did 7:20, And then after that, what we did. All right. Okay. So I did something wrong here, because okay, this was a mistake. So this is my mistake, right? And this is the mistake every student makes. The mistake is that you get confused and you consider all of the others. And I just said don't focus on these because we've been only asked for Wigan and Lostock. Okay, so we've been only asked for Wigan and Lostock, so we should only focus on Wigan and Lostock. So what we do is, for Wigan we know we go to 7:20, and then we know that the first stop we reach at Lostock is 8:09. So how much time did it take? We simply write 7:20 here, and our end stop is at 8:09, so we write 8:09 here. How much time did it take? So let's see. So from, let's say, 7:20 to 8 o'clock, it took us around 40 minutes, right? And then basically from 8 to 8:09, we know it took us around 9 minutes more. So 40 plus 9 is equals to 49, and that will be your answer, and that's how you will earn a full of 2 marks. Second question is, Allison goes from Black Road to Bolton by bus. One day Allison leaves her house at 8. She takes 7 minutes to walk to the bus stop in Black Road. She takes 15 minutes to walk to the bus stop in Bolton to work. Allison needs to be at work at 9:20. She needs to be at work at 9:20. So will Allison get to work at 9:20? You must show how you get your answer. Okay, so here they've simply given us a statement in a way that will Allison get to work by 9:20, because she needs to be at her work by 9:20. So now they've given us a certain timing in a way. So we consider our past options. What we did was, so basically she did bus from 8:09. As we clearly know, it was from Black Road to Bolton by bus. So we know it was a 8:09. So bus here. And then we basically know that for Bolton, she basically reached at 8:58 in Bolton. Right? Because when we did 8:09, we basically know then it took her 7 minutes to walk from the bus stop in Black Road. And then after adding 7 minutes and then adding a 15 minutes, we basically know, oh no, let's not add the 15 minutes here. So we have the 8:09 here, and then it clearly tells us that at 8:58 she's in Bolton. And then after that they say that in 8:58 it took her 15 minutes to walk from the bus stop in Bolton to work. So we take those extra 15 minutes. That's the main part they're asking us about. So we take 8:58 plus 15 minutes, which gives us 9 o'clock. And then 13 more minutes it took her, which basically could get us to 9. So basically which gets us closer to 9:20, which basically got us to a 9:13. Extra 13 minutes she took. And we basically know because she reached before 9:20, she is early for her work, and therefore yes, she does get to work by 9:20. So I hope you don't have doubts in any of these questions. If you have doubts in any of the part, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll be sure to clear it out in a short. Okay. Next question is 11th question. 11th question is 214 people go on a school trip. The people on the trip are either adults or children. There are 14 adults on the trip. 35% of the children on the trip are wearing a hat. Find the number of children on the trip who are not wearing a hat. Again, tricky question here. So as we know, firstly, they're basically asking us about the number of children. So because the question is particularly based on the number of children, about how many children did that, how many children did not wear a hat. Children. The whole question, when we see it by common sense, we know it's basically based on children. So we know that the adults are out of this. So we know total of 214 people are going on a trip. We know there are 14 adults. So how many children are there in total? So here the first ever step would be to get the children. So 214 minus 14, which gives us 200 children. Sorry, but my handwriting is not clear, but this is written as children. Oops, I think I crossed it out. Let me write it again. 200 children. Okay, now after writing this, we basically know now that we have 200 children, 35% of the children were wearing a hat. So how many were wearing a hat? Basically, when they say 35%, we've done this in paper 1 as well. When they say 35%, we basically know that 35 over 100, it will be off meaning multiply of 200, because in fractions we basically are given fractions of a half or a 1 over 12, so we were able to take out easily. But now because we've been given enough percentage, and we already know that these questions are mostly coming in when we've been given a fraction, and right now because we haven't been given a fraction, we convert it into a fraction. So we did 35 into a fraction, which is 35 over 100, and we basically know off means multiply, and then we know the number of children already, which is 200, so we write multiplied by 200. And now when we solve this, we get an answer of 70. So we know 70 of the children were wearing a hat. So out of 270 were wearing a hat. So if 70 were wearing a hat, how many were not wearing the hat? So basically what we do is, second step and then third step, what we have is we subtract 200 from 70. And then that way we get the number of children who were not wearing a hat. So 130 children were not wearing a hat. And that is your answer. Perfect. Your fourth mark, I think, is for converting 35% into 35 over 100. So perfectly fine. Here you get a full of your 4 marks. Moving on to next question. Here we've been given a fraction in both parts. Okay. So our first question is, work out 5 over 8 of 132. Again, super simple as we know. 5 over 8 of means multiply 132. We simply solve that and it gives us an answer of 82.5. And that gives you a whole of 2 marks. Next question is, write the following fractions in order of size. Start with the smallest fraction. So here, a simpler method that you can do is firstly convert it into a decimal. How will you convert it into a decimal? By dividing them together, by doing the division, and you can find decimals easily. So if you do 3 and 8, you're going to find a decimal of about, I would say, 0. So you would find a decimal of 0.375. And simply for all of these you'll be finding decimals. That's also a very simpler way to do this. You can also do this by the method of creating it into a percentage. So how will you convert this into a percentage? You already have a fraction. So what do you do with the fraction? You basically do 21 over 64, for example. You multiply it by 100, and whatever your answer would be your percentage. So if you write percentages, that's even more easier. That's super easy. You can do it in that method as well. But right now I'm doing this in decimals. But you can always put the percentage ones, and you can clearly know from the percentages as well that which one's the shorter one, which one's the smallest one, which one's the largest one. And in that way you'll be easily be able to get your answer. Here I'm doing decimals. So for decimals, here I got for 3 over 8 I got 0.375. For 9 over 32 I got 0.28125. For 1 over 4 I got 0.25. And for 21 over 64 I got 0.328125. So basically now we can see, because we are very clear with which one is smaller, which one's bigger, the one which has more numbers in the end, like after the decimal on the right hand side will be the smaller one. So we know 0.25 is the biggest one here for sure. And then in the second one was this one. And then for the third one is this one, obviously. And then for the fourth one is this one. So now when we arrange this, we basically know our teams. So basically we remember our teams. 0.25 was from 1.4. So we know 1.4 is the smallest one. Then we go bigger. We know 9 over 32. Then we go bigger. We know 21 over 64. Then we go bigger. 3 over 8. And that's your fourth mark. Moving on to the next question. Now, this is your 13th question and we've been given prices. So the question is, a shop has 2 different special offers on milk, 75p and £1.28. So for milk with 2 pence, it says for 75p, it says that pay for 2 bottles, get 1 bottle free. And for 1.28 bottle, which is for 4 pence, says that pay for 1 bottle, get 1 bottle half price. Which offer gives the best, better value for money? You must show how you get your answer. So again, this is the 4-mark question. We basically know if we need to find an easy value for, if easy value meaning better value for money, basically means that it can give you more in a more cheaper value, in a more cheaper price. So what we can do is, the main method that we have to really put into this is this one. Is firstly what we do is we can firstly suppose multiply this by 2, which would give us £1.50. So if I write it in a more neater way, okay, so now we write it as 75p into 2, which gives us £1.50. And then for the next one, we divide it by 2, which gives us 0.64. Okay, so now we basically know when we write for, let's say, 2 pence here and 4 pence here. So let's take a common number here, for example. Maybe let's take common number, not really a common number here, but let's take, for example, into 3, and let's take this one into 2, because here we can see that here they're given us pay for 2 bottles, get 1 bottle free. So we are basically getting a total of 3 bottles. So we multiply this by 3. For this one, we know that pay for 1 bottle, get bottle half price. We're basically getting 2 bottles in. We're basically getting both of the bottles in. We're basically getting a total of 2 bottles. So we multiply this by 2. So here we have 2 pence, 4 pence, which again change into, this one changes into 6 pence, which are basically for £1.50, and that's why we multiplied 75 by 2 and 1.28 by divided by 2. And this one we got for 8 pence for 1.92. Now we multiply, because when we multiply now, because for 6 pence we've got £1.50, for 1 how much will it be? This is when we will know the real value, which one's the better one. So when we found for 1 pence, we basically know it's for 0.25, because we divided now both of these by 6. And here when we found for 8 pence, it basically got us for an answer of 1 pence for 0.24. As you can see, there's a big difference in 0.24 and 0.25. We can clearly see the difference, and therefore we know that 4 pence has a better value. So we write an answer of 4 pence. And that's how you will gain your 4th mark. Next question, and probably our last question for this one. So now 14th question is here. So our question is, simplify 4c plus 7d plus 3c minus d. So as we know, we need to simplify here. We can simply see the algebras here. The first 2 questions are related to algebras. And as we know, we need to make our teams here. So we have got c's simply. So what we do is, we take them into different places. So we take 4c plus 3c plus 7d minus d. This is how you would rearrange it. So when we ask for c's and then we ask for d's, there are 2 different things, and the plus remains here always. So 4c plus 3c we basically know will be a 7c and not a 7c square. It will not a 7c square, because we're not multiplying the c's here. And if we were multiplying it, the 4 and 3 would also get multiplied, and then you would have an answer of 12c square. But now here we are adding, so only this gets added and the c remains the same. Please remember this. So 7c here, and then we do 7d minus d, which gives us an answer of 6d. So basically our answer now would be 7c plus 6d, and that's your answer. Now your next question is solve. Solve 5 and in the bracket is 2m. So as we know, we need to simplify here. We can simply see the algebras here. The first two questions are related to algebras. And as we know, we need to make our teams here. So we have got C's simply. So what we do is we take them into different places. So we take 4C plus 3C plus 7D minus D. This is how you would rearrange it. So when we ask for C's and then we ask for D's, they are two different things and the plus remains here always. So 4C plus 3C we basically know will be a 7C and not a 7C square. It will not a 7C square because we're not multiplying the C's here. And if we were multiplying it, the 4 and 3 would also get multiplied and then you would have an answer of 12C square. But now here we are adding, so only this gets added and the C remains the same. Please remember this. So 7C here and then we do 7D minus D, which gives us an answer of 6D. So basically our answer now would be 7C plus 6D, and that's your answer. Now your next question is solve. Solve 5 and in the bracket is 2m minus 6 bracket close is equals to 40. So now because it's in the brackets and outside is a 5, we basically know we need to multiply 5 by all the numbers inside the bracket. So we do 5 into 2 which is a 10. So we get 10m minus 5 6 is a 30. 30 is equals to a 40. Here we know now we can find m itself. So we do 10m and then is equals to, when the minus goes to the other side, it goes into plus. So we do 40 plus 30. 10m is equals to 70. And then we know m is equals to 70 divided by 10 because this was in multiply. Now it goes in divide as soon as it gets to the other side of the equals to sign. So 70 divided by 10 gives us an answer of m is equals to 7. And that's your answer, and that's how you will earn all of your 3 marks. Next question is, there are x sweets in a box, there are y sweets in a packet. Write an expression in terms of x and y for the total number of sweets in 3 boxes and 2 packets. So we basically know if x number of sweets in a box are there are in 3 boxes, right? So if we take x is 3, if we take x as sweet in a box, we know now they've been given us 3 boxes. If for one box is x, how many is it for? So if for one box is x, how many is it for 3 box? We would do 3 into x, which would give us 3x. And then for 2 packets, we basically know for y, we've been given the expression of a packet. So for 1 packet, it's y. How much is it for 2 packets? So we do y into 2, which gives us an answer of 2y. And here, because we've been asked for the total number. So total, how do we know when it's a total? We add them up. So our equation would be simply 3x plus 2y. This is a 2-mark question. First mark for both of these steps, both of these, and then third mark for doing 3x plus 2y, and that's your answer. Simple. Okay, so now we're done with this. We're not done with the whole paper, but we've done till question 14 today. I hope you like this video, and we'll be continuing through it. And this is a calculator paper, so please make sure as soon as you're discussing it with me, and if you're noting it down with me, please make sure that you have at least a protractor, a pencil, a pen of course, a black ink, blue ink for now, anything is fine, but for the examination please always keep black pen with you, but blue or any pen is fine. If you have a printed version of this past paper, that's completely fine. If you want to get a printed version, this will be on the Edexcel. This is the Edexcel website, so you can always get it from there. It's from Maths Genie Edexcel past paper 2. So you can get it from there, print it out, and then I can clear your doubts and everything while discussing it in this video. So you can write answers with me or test yourself after this video. If this certain topic you didn't understand and I explained it to you and then you have to test yourself, it's always fine for me if you don't write your answers time to time. You can always test yourself later with this past paper or any topic questions. That will be super helpful actually, to always practice after this some particular topic that I might have explained it to you. And then obviously after that, always important to have a protractor, scale, pencil, and a calculator, most importantly, because there will be calculator used in these papers for paper 2 and 3. So always remember to have calculator by your side. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. Please let me know if there's anything else as in doubts, or anything you want me to improve on, or any upcoming past papers that you want me to do for you guys, and I'll try my best in the next videos as well. Thank you so much.